All right, next up, we are going to create the headphone throw, which is going to look something like that. Pretty cool. I don't know why we get a black frame here. I think sometimes After Effects is just messing up things when I'm playing it on half resolution. Don't ask me why. It's After Effects. It's a program. So, that's pretty cool. And I'm sliding in here that gray solid so we can add some text and yeah, have a good call to action at the end. So boom, that's what we are going to create. For this effect, we need 2 shots. One shot is going to look like that. Let's create a new comp. So that's our base layer. That's our base shot. Throwing the headphones, someone's taking them, and I can go back in a clean position. So that's our first shot we need. And the second shot is the headphones. I pretty much just spin them on a stick. And yeah, I need to rotoscope them because yeah, the green screen doesn't work. And we also have that little stick here in the middle, but that's not going to be a big problem. Yeah, so these are the 2 shots. First of all, this one where you like move your hand all the way out. You stay there for a second. You have someone grabbing your object you want to throw, in this case, the headphones, and you stay in a position and you go clean back. Why do we need that movement? So we are now making a cut at the very end here, where I'm like all the way out with my hand, Command Shift D, making the cut. And now we are finding the right point where I go back with my hand. I think that's the first frame. Nice. And stitching them together like that. So boom, this looks pretty natural. This is exactly what we need. Now we can cut down the comp with Command Shift X. So this is the comp we are working in. So by now it should look something like that. So you're just kind of throwing, it disappeared, and yeah, from here on we can animate the rotoscoped or the isolated headphones, which we are going to create next. So just get in your headphones shot, and now we are going to rotoscope this shot. So the spin starts from here, so we can make a cut here because we don't need that beginning. And now we just need that one turn, and here we are at the end of the spin. Boom, I'm cutting this one as well because I only want to rotoscope the duration I'm really using in the end, because otherwise rotoscoping takes forever. So the less frames we have to rotoscope, the more time we have to create dope effects. So let's choose the rotoscope tool up here to the top and make sure it's set to full resolution and double click your clip. Now here we can select our object, in this case the headphones. Yeah, this is going to be pretty hard because now we have black on black here, but it's possible. It's possible. So make sure that first selection is clean. I actually put on some tape here, like the gray tape, because I knew otherwise it's going to black here as well. So I tried to cover this area with gray and also the area here. So in the hope that it's going to be easier to rotoscope. I think it's, the idea is actually working, but I should have gaffered or like taped the whole stick here to be 100% accurate and have it easier to rotoscope. Yeah, but hey, never stop learning. Next time I'm doing this effect, I'm of course, having a better idea of how to film the shot. So editing is going to flow more and it's going to be easier to edit. So perfect, that's our first selection. Let's press spacebar, and now we are going to correct here the area. So I should have taped it all the way up till here. So yeah, it's definitely making a good difference. And yes, this is looking good. I think we have to correct some spots, like here. Let's go frame by frame because this is really fast. Yes. Yes. Okay, let's move on. Nice. Nice. Okay, yeah, rotoscope did a pretty good job here. And also here we can cover a lot with motion blur because this is not 100% accurate, but yeah, we'll fix that in post. Okay, nice. Let's freeze the frame. All right, and we are done. Freeze frame. Let's jump back into the main comp, and this is looking pretty good. So from here on, we needed headphones and we need them to spin. And yeah, it's of course, it's not 100%, but it's all right. So this is pretty much the last frame. This one I'm going to freeze frame. So the last animation is going to boom, stay there. Headphones going to stay there as well. So let's duplicate that layer, pre-comp that layer first. Yes, please. And now we can time freeze frame. Nice. Let's make that fit here. So it's going to look something like that. Perfect. So it's going to stay there at the end. Nice. Cool. Let's pre-comp everything we have here, that whole headphone. So we have that headphone rotoscope with the final freezed frame in one comp, which we can edit and animate. Nice. Let's call this one headphones. Easy as that. And now, now we are going to create some magic. So let's bring up the scale keyframe, pressing S, bring up the position keyframe, pressing P, but we also need to make it a 3D layer actually. So let's check the 3D layer here. Nice. Let's move the anchor point actually to the middle. I think the anchor point should be somewhere around here, so everything spins around that. So let's uncheck position again and scale. And now we can keyframe them again with the changed anchor point. So yeah, make sure that's correct. And now we can also go into orientation and keyframe the orientation as well, because when we are going to make changes here and that axis in the orientation, it's going to clip as well. Nice. So with everything keyframed, this with view, you're bringing up all the keyframes, and now we are dragging them back for the duration. So at the end, we want them to be at that position, at that specific position and orientation, maybe a little bit more on the top. Maybe you have that last frame be somewhere around here. And let's go to the beginning here and let's try to match the headphone size and position as good as possible. So maybe make them overlap by a second. And now we can scale it down, that headphones, and we can also rotate them. And I would say we also need to change the orientation a little bit. So something like that. All right. Okay, so this doesn't work like that. We definitely need to increase the scale. And we need to rotate it a little bit more like that. So I'm not 100% nailing it, I think. Because we don't have that shot of that headphones from the bottom. So we need to play around with some keyframing to make it look natural. But that's already pretty good. I think we need to really blur that layer here. So let's add a fast box blur, increase it. Yes, something like that. So we're going to match the headphones here, and let's create a keyframe for that box blur, bring up the keyframes with view, and here we want to be at 0. Well, to make it really look realistic, we should add directional blur. So here you can see the difference. If we add directional blur, let's say we want that to add it for 90% here, and yes, I think this is making a big difference because, yeah, that's looking good. Now it's a directional blur. Let's bring up the keyframes with view and move it back in time. And here at the end, we want to be at 0 blur. Okay, but one thing, we need to rotate the headphones. So the big end should be on the other side. So let's rotate them like that. Let's scale them down a little bit more, like that. Let's try to match the position as best as possible. Okay, that's a little bit weird because we don't have a 3D model. So we have to actually create a rotation keyframe as well for the C rotation. So let's say C rotation at the end should be at 0, and at the beginning, well, actually the headphone should spin in, but this is actually all right. I think that's good. Let's ease that keyframes. Keyframe assistant, easy ease, yes. Drag them a little bit more forward. And here, let's create an opacity keyframe. Here you want to be at 100. Beginning, want to be at 0 opacity. A little bit later, something like that. Yes. Can actually, I don't know, move this clip in the background, like give it one more frame. It's going to be smoother. Yeah, that's cool. Nice. So actually my hand doesn't fit 100% in there. So, yeah, you see, as clean as the background, now it goes smoother because I'm matching the background clip better. So yeah, that's nice. And also we want to add some lumetri color because maybe comes always also from a little bit more from the bottom, like that. Yes. And we want to add some lumetri color because here you see a whole black font, the black font. We also want to add some lumetri color because we see the headphones are really dark here. And in our example, they're actually like bluish. So let's add also lumetri color, make a keyframe for the basic exposure, bring up keyframes with U. At the end, you want to be at 0, and here you want to be at -2. So this is just matching better. You see here now they are darker, the headphones. If I turn it off, like this is what it actually looks like. And now we are matching them by bringing down the exposure. Maybe even -3 is good. Yes. So you see, that makes a big difference. If you're now watching on a big screen, yes, this is looking Gucci. I like that. So let's create a new adjustment layer as well. Here, let's call this one blur. We are going to blur a lot here. Let's drag it below the headphones. And as soon as the headphones get sharp here, the background should blur out. So let's apply a camera lens blur. Set the blur radius to 0, make a keyframe. So here at the beginning of the row, it should be at 0. And here, something around 10, maybe. So this is cool. Let's ease these keyframes. And now, this should also make a big difference. Oh yeah, we can drop the resolution actually. Smooth playback. Yeah, you see now the background is getting blurry because our headphones getting sharp. I think that's pretty cool. This is, yeah, really clean. And now when headphones come in, we can create that solid coming in gray. So I like that gray tone here, actually. Boom. So that's our gray solid. Let's make it big as the comp. Nice. And now we create a position keyframe. That's the end position. And here at the beginning, we want that solid to be maybe on the left, on the bottom, whatever works for you. You can also make it black. Black is also pretty cool. I am editing the speed graph here to get smooth. So it comes smoothly in. Boom. Another thing I would add here is a CC vignette. Boom, giving some more structure. I like that a lot. So it's not completely black. A little bit of a gray in here. Yeah, I like that a lot. Nice. Looking good. Looking good. All right, nice. This is looking good. We can also activate motion blur here for that layer. Oh, we done it. Nice. Awesome. Perfect. So yeah, activating motion blur here. It's going to make it blurry when it comes in. Here, for example, here you see the border is like crispy sharp. Activating motion blur makes it blurry. Comes in smoothly. Nice. Guys, this is looking good. And yes, that's the headphone throw. And you can play around with that. You can throw your phone and make a transition into the screen. You can throw your camera or whatever object makes sense for your visuals, for your video. And yes, there you have it.